Welcome back, everyone. My name is Alberto Luatoyin. I usually bring to you Bible stories and that of martyrdom, the exact way it's been recorded. Today, martyrdom story is about two women called Perpetua and Felicity. Perpetua and Felicity lived in North Africa, Carthage, in modern-day Tunisia. Perpetua was recorded is that Perpetua was 22 years old as at the time of her execution, and then she was a nursing mother also. Recorded is that she had just gotten married and she had an infant. She's actually nursing. And then she had a slave also. This slave name was Felicity. As at then, Felicity was pregnant. After they had converted to Christianity, they were arrested. And they were arrested and imprisoned. Now, when they were imprisoned, it wasn't only Perpetual and Felicity that was imprisoned. Perpetua and Felicity was imprisoned alongside 3 other men. One of them was still a slave, and two out of them was already a free man. They arrested the five of them and then they imprisoned them. They were arrested during the reign of Emperor Septimus Severus as at 203 AD. That was the exact year in which they were executed. Now, when they were arrested, since the time of Jesus till the 4th century, being a Christian was the same thing as committing treason. Being a Christian, when you admit you're a Christian, it's the same thing as saying that this person has committed treason. So the same punishment meant for someone who committed treason, but the same punishment meant for Christians. Back then, they have several ways of torturing them. One of them is one they call military game. This military game is usually performed in a place called amphitheater. In this amphitheater, they have caged wild animals. Just they deliberately make them go hungry. And whenever they want to kill these Christians, all they just do is they release them to the wild animal to devour. But then let's proceed with Perpetua and Felicity. Perpetua and Felicity, after they were arrested, even before they were arrested, record that is that Perpetua's father had constantly went to her and begged her that she should denounce her faith so as to make her leave. But Perpetua was steadfast in her faith. She refused that she wasn't going to deny Jesus until she was arrested. Out of these five people that were imprisoned, record that is that it was only Perpetua that got the opportunity to be baptized before their death. The rest of them could not be baptized before they were arrested and they were executed. Now, in the prison, while Perpetua was in the prison alongside the rest of them that they were arrested together, record that is that Perpetua's father bribed the prison guard. And after he had bribed the prison guard, they took Perpetua from the prison that she was, they took her to a more conducive place, right still inside the prison. They took her to a more conducive place. So in that place, she was able to nurse her son, and after nursing the child, she would hand over the child to her mother and her brother to take care of. So she was in that prison for a long period of time, all through their trials, they were in the prison. And while Felicity, on the other hand, Felicity was already pregnant. And back then they had this rule. They do not execute the pregnant women. So they have the options of either leaving them or waiting for them to deliver the child before executing them, depending on how severe the offense was back then. But one thing is certain is that so far a woman is pregnant, she won't be executed. So all this while, Felicity was pregnant. Alongside, they had other people too. They had arrested with them. Now, on March 1st, 203 AD, March 1st was the birthday of Caesar Geta. Caesar Geta was the son of the reigning emperor as at that time in Rome. So it was March 1st was his birthday. So they decided that they should use these people to celebrate the birthday of Caesar Geta. So when it was March 1st, they brought all of them out. They brought the three men. Two of them were free men. One of them was a slave. They brought Perpetua, which was a noble woman. Record that is that Perpetua was educated, that she had everything within her reach. And Felicity was the slave of Perpetua as at then, which makes them five people. They brought them out that day to a place called amphitheater. That amphitheater, just as the name implies, it's a theater, but not the usual theater we know these days. It's a gruesome theater. They had they usually have wild animals kept in that theater. They purposely make these wild animals go hungry so that whenever they release human beings to them, this wild animal would devour them immediately. So they took them to this amphitheater. Now we have men and women that was about to be executed that day. They separated the men from the women. They took the three men to one side and the two women in the other side. So for the three women, they used them as a military game. What they did was that they released a leopard, a bear, and a boa, three wild animals. They released them to this three wild animal, and immediately the wild animal devoured them. Now, before they released the five of them to this military game, this is what they did. Record that it's that the people requested that all of them should be sponged. This means that they should be severely beaten. And after they had beaten them, they released the men to the wild animals and they released the women to the wild cows. After the wild cows has brutally injured them, they, they brought them back. And then the eyewitnesses says that so that Perpetua might feel pain, that she was pierced between her bones. And after she was pierced within her bones, she let out a painful cry. After then, they handed her for they handed her over for proper execution. What this means is that while she was being attacked by the cow, she was not dead. The cow only injured her, and this time around she must be severely weak. So they handed her over to an executor that was going to behead her. An eyewitness says that this executor was a novice. So when he wanted to behead Perpetua, he kind of staggered and kind of almost wanted to miss his target. So Perpetua, the eyewitness recorded that Perpetua did something. That Perpetua placed the sword on her neck so as to enable the executor to have a perfect and clean job. And that was how Perpetua was killed because of the faith. The same thing to Felicity as slaves. Thank you so much for watching. In case you love martyrdom and Bible stories like this, I tell them on my social media platform. Kindly follow for more. God bless you.